What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're going to be changing out the intake on my 2016 BMW 328i. Got the car up on Rhino ramps because we're going to be replacing the inlet as well. And just in case it might be easier to take the pan off the bottom, I just put it up there because I didn't want to have the thing disassembled and then be like, oh, I want to get it up on jacks now. I just figured this was easier, so able to reach it, no problem. So we're gonna be taking this out. I already started pulling it loose before I realized that I'm gonna need to disconnect the mass airflow sensor first and then disconnect this band right here, and then we'll be able to pull this out by the 3 grommets, undoing these 4 latches over here, 2 on the front, 2 on the back. Might be a 3rd one on the back, I can't remember, but however many there are. And then just pull that off. We'll be able to get the intake out, and then we'll have to worry about the inlet, which is at what point whether I'll decide whether I'm gonna pull off the belly pan or we're just gonna try to do it from the top. All right, so instead of unbolting it right now, we're just going to unplug the mass airflow sensor, put the plug off to the side, and then when we're ready to change it over, we'll do that when it's out of the car to avoid damaging the mass airflow sensor or anything like that. So just push down real hard and it'll come out. And we need a flathead. Just tuck it somewhere out of the way. Ooh. Make sure you unplug your vacuum. All right, so we need to get these grommets out of here. Back on there. They come out easy enough. That was the only one. I have an N26 motor, so hopefully you can see right there. I got this charcoal filter. I don't believe the N20 airbox has this. Okay, so I was able to get back there and undo that clamp, so now it's free from the hose. So I think I don't see anything else attached to this. I think it should separate now from the inlet pipe, and voila, it is out. Go ahead, take a look at the inside of this. It's got a little muffler in there of sorts. That's why you don't hear any turbo noise. That and it just being a sealed box. Okay, so now we've done the easy part and removed the next step is going to be getting this inlet out, which I think is going to be about twice as hard, which still shouldn't be too terribly hard. Okay, so I'm having a hard time finding a spot to mount this where you guys can get a good look at what's going on because of this like part of the body of the car that's sticking out, blocking the view. So basically what I'm doing is I'm going to pull this out here by using these 2 little clips here and then pulling out. Seems pretty straightforward, easy enough. Then they're going to compress on this one and pull it out. And then I think there is one more on the bottom that looks like that. Let me see if I can. No, just the one on the top? Okay, so I'm just gonna pull that out, and then this is there's a bolt back there. I don't know if we're gonna be able to get access to it without going under the car. Trying not to, but prepared if I need to be. Okay, so this is 2 hoses in the same spot. So there's one here, and then it has another one that goes into the top. It's over here. It's a lot easier to take the top one out first. That bottom one, that was the hardest part of all this. That thing did not want to come out. I wound up getting a pair of pliers and kind of sticking them in at an angle and grabbing it like that. And it did come out. So now we need to look back there and see if we can find the 10mm bolt. I don't think I'm gonna be able to get to it. You can kinda, it's down underneath it kind of. I think it's gonna be a lot easier to go at this from the bottom. Okay, so super not hard at all. Like this is the under panel. I just took down all the ones that connect it to the front bumper, and then all the ones along the left side here and near the front. So the first 4 on the front. It's 1, 2, the one on the actually connects to the bumper, and then this one here that connects to this little metal hanger. Now I pulled down it and I have got access. So let's see if you can just see right there. There's the inlet right there, that black pipe. And now if I can't quite get the phone up there, but if right behind that plug, if you could just picture it, there's a bolt with a 10mm bolt on it, or a nut with a nut on a bolt. The nut is 10mm. There we go. You're gonna undo that. It's literally right behind that plug. The plug is what's blocking it. I just can't fit the phone through there, but I can get a ratchet in my hand through there, no problem. So that's what I'm gonna do. All right, guys, so this is the factory inlet. This is where I was talking about. The bolt goes right there for alignment purposes, and then the little nut goes on the end. Actually dropped the nut under the bottom, so it was a good thing I was already had the belly pan halfway off. I was able to get it pretty easily. It actually landed like this on one of the belly pan screws sticking up, so I wasn't able to. I tried just sticking a magnet down there to get it, but I couldn't find it. But nothing was coming up, and that's why it was just sitting on top of a screw. When the screw came out, it was right there. Anyway, now it's time to put the, ooh, this got caught. There is no space in this garage. We have the new FTP inlet right here. So we're gonna go ahead and line this up, put it in, and I'm gonna put the bolt back on from the bottom again. I think it's just way easier. It really isn't that hard to get the thing off. And then everything should just plug right up. All right, guys, so at this point I have the intake in. I think for now I'm just gonna see how it sounds without the cover on. I'm most likely gonna put the cover on in a few hours. It just screws on to all these points. So don't tighten everything up until you have it all together and you put the final piece together, because I had this piece like way up here. I had to loosen everything, get it all down, and then realign it. This right here, there's a bolt and a nut. Goes on both sides of these grommets. You want both sides of rubber in so you don't have metal on metal and any rattling. This just puts right in. You're gonna wanna take this channel that, this air channel thing out, and the box meets the other piece, so there's really not much of a gap. There is a tad bit of one, but it's not much. It feeds cool air straight to the air filter, which is gonna suck it in and send it straight to the engine. The air filter box connects to the radiator fan kind of right here. If you don't have your battery disconnected, which I did not do when I did this, be very careful. You don't want your fan to turn on. If your car's hot or whatever. My car hasn't been running except to get it up on these Rhino ramps in a while. So now I just got to put the belly pan back on all the way, and then I'm going to start her up and see how she sounds. All right, guys, so I just got back from the test drive. Car's running. I know you can hear that in the background. I mean, it is loud. I'm gonna have to put that cover on. I mean, it was stupid loud. People at like this restaurant I drove by were like looking at my car like, what the hell? I mean, it's like shh, shh. So here, I'm about to rev it and you'll hear it. All right, guys, that's what it looks like with the cover on. I haven't actually driven it yet with the cover off, but you got 4 screws. Got the CTS turbo logo pretty prominent right there. Big sturdy metal pipe. I mean, it's in there good. I mean, you can move it a little bit, but it's in there pretty sturdy. I mean, it's all one solid metal pipe all the way to the turbo. Looks really clean. But like I said at the beginning, I really wish someone would build a pipe that could just come straight out over here, just sit over here. Then maybe I have to make some kind of an extension for the mass airflow sensor to run it all the way to there. But I think it would work. it would be good. Some kind of like halfway between the B48 and the N20 setup. All right, guys, that concludes how to install the FTP turbo inlet and CTS turbo cold air intake for any BMW that has the N20 and F30 chassis. That would be the 328i or the 320i. Pretty easy to do, much easier to put the turbo inlet in if you take the bottom off. And also, pro tip, disconnect this at the top when you're reconnecting everything. It just makes it so much easier. It takes like an extra 20 seconds and it makes it so much easier. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.